Alright guys, so let's chapter 7, and this is the next problem. We talked about an inductor in the previous one. Now in this one we want to see a very important derivation here, and an important concept here. In the previous example we saw that the inductor absorb the reactive power, and now we are going to see we are going to add in a capacitor here. Okay, so when we add a capacitor, we can see, if you look at here, so 120 volt is coming from this generator, and then 30 amp is absorbed by the 30 amp is going through the inductor, and 30 amp is going through this capacitor. Of course the voltage here is going to be 120 and 120, and the reason is it is a parallel circuit. Okay, so in the question this current is not given, okay, but it is easy to find, because we got 120 volt, and 120 divided by minus 4j, that is going to give you 30 minus 30 amps, yeah, which is flowing down here. Now if we draw vectorially, so we got 120 volt, yeah, an inductor, we know this now, that the inductor, a pure inductor, would be lagging the voltage by 90 degrees, and the value of this current is 30 amps. And we know that a capacitor, the current lead by 90 degrees, and the value of the current is what? 30 amps. Okay, and don't get confused, that's why I equal to 0. This I equal to 0 is vectorially. If we add these two, the capacitor current, the IC, and the IL, that's going to give us 0, because 30 minus 30 is 0. Alright, so that's why that is there. So we can say that IL plus IC is equal to 0, and it is 0. If you see it, see IL is 30, and that is plus what we got, the IC, that is minus 30, and that is equal to 0. All right, now if the source is providing 0 amps, this is the question, then where is this 30 amps coming from in this circuit? There is no other component beside the capacitor, so that could be very easily concluded that capacitor is providing the current which is needed by this inductor. So the capacitor produces VARs, and the inductor absorb VARs. And how much of VARs is absorbed by inductor? So 30 times, that's very easy. We have QL equal to I times V, and I is 30 and voltage is 120, as we saw it in the previous example. That is 3600 VAR, and this 3600 VAR is now produced by the capacitor, because if you see capacitor is 30, so we would have QC, which is producing 30 amps multiplied by so that is negative 30 times 120, that would be negative 3600 VAR, and that means that it is producing it. Okay, and right here it is absorbing it. I hope that kind of give you an idea that inductor is absorbing, and capacitor is producing VARs. And as we go in the next, this is a very basic course, as we go into the next, the 260 and 270, you guys would see that how do we improve the power factor of a station or a facility by installing capacitor banks there as we go. All right, if you guys have a question, leave it in the comment, or I will see you guys in the class.